The iPhone 17 Pro Max's speculated vapor chamber has officially been pictured. At this point, it's looking very likely that the iPhone 17 Pro Max will have a vapor chamber, as following on from two distinct sources saying as much, we've now seen a diagram of it. This was shared by iOS developer Loseroy8 on X, and while they don't have much of a track record for leaks, the fact that this is the third time we're hearing about a vapor chamber makes us think there's a decent chance it's occurring. The image itself isn't particularly detailed, but it appears as though the vapor chamber would be rather huge if this is accurate, which might suggest it will be meant to pull heat away from the phone's storage and RAM, as well as the chipset. A vapor chamber, for those who don't know, is a metal chamber filled with liquid, and that liquid turns into vapor when it becomes heated. That vapor then evaporates across the chamber's surface area, taking heat away from internal components, most notably the chipset. This form of cooling technology is already utilized in many Android phones, but so far Apple has depended on different and less effective means of cooling its iPhones, with current models relying on graphite sheets. 1. Cooler and quicker for longer. So by switching to a vapor chamber, the iPhone 17 Pro Max should be able to stay cooler for longer, which could in turn help it maintain top performance for longer, as once a phone gets too hot, performance is normally decreased to help it cool down. A vapor chamber could also assist keep the phone cooler to the touch and minimize heat damage to components. So there are a lot of benefits to a vapor chamber, and we're therefore hoping that Apple will incorporate one. The key question though is whether all iPhone 17 models will feature a vapor chamber, only the Pro variants, or just the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This current report relates exclusively to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. However, a prior leak indicated to its inclusion in both the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and the initial vapor chamber leak claimed that all four models might contain one. We should find out which, if any, contain a vapor chamber shortly though, as Apple is planning an event on September 9 where it will almost probably introduce these phones. Apple's next iPhone 17 Pro will have a beginning price that is $50 more than the iPhone 16 Pro, but it will come with a minimum 256 gigs of storage, double the base capacity compared to last year's model. The information comes from Chinese leaker Instant Digital, posting on Weibo. The account, which has 1.5 million followers, has now made the allegation 3 separate times in recent weeks. Currently, the iPhone 16 Pro starts at 128 gigs storage for $999, while the 256 gigs version costs $1,099. By contrast, the larger iPhone 16 Pro Max already begins at 256 gigs for $1,199. Both Pro variants offer up to 1 terabyte of storage. Before the launch of the iPhone 15 series in 2023, there were reports that the iPhone 15 Pro Max would drop the 128 gigs tier and start at $1,199, up from $1,099 for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The story was accurate, but only because Apple withdrew the lesser storage option, essentially boosting the entry price. Apple may be considering a similar adjustment for the iPhone 17 Pro. A new 256 gigs base model might be priced at $1,049, replacing the 128 gigs variant at $999. Rather than a clear $50 price raise, this move could be regarded by users as greater value, delivering additional storage for only a minor increase, and simplifying the lineup in the process. In July, Jeffries claimed that Apple wants to boost pricing throughout the iPhone 17 series by $50, citing rising component costs and levies tied to China. Instant Digital echoed this expectation in an earlier piece. The Wall Street Journal has also stated that Apple is considering hiking prices for its next iPhone 17 models. Instant Digital has given accurate Apple information before, including the yellow iPhone 14 launch, iPhone 15's frosted glass back, spatial video on iPhone 15 Pro, M4, iPad Pro's nano-texture display, and iPhone 16 Pro battery stats. Their allegations are therefore worth considering seriously. Apple made a great deal out of adding titanium to the iPhone 15 Pro's frame, something that it duplicated a year later on iPhone 16 Pro. We had hoped that the lightweight, sturdy metal was here to stay, but that may not be the case. According to a plethora of leaks and reports, Apple will be changing the metal on iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. not to stainless steel, which was the substance used pre-titanium. It sounds like it'll actually be some form of aluminum, which, while light and affordable, isn't the most lasting of metals. Titanium may yet make an appearance on iPhone 17 Air, though, considering the ultra-thin design would need that little bit more toughness than aluminum can deliver. There's criticism that Apple has slipped behind in the AI arms race. Our AI phone face-off proved exactly how much better the likes of Gemini and Galaxy AI genuinely are. While it's not too late, my colleague John Velasco has claimed that the iPhone 17 could mark a turning point for Apple's AI success. Apple doesn't need to necessarily catch up, but it does need to put on a show of strength and make sure that the iPhone 17 is at least competitive, even if it's not top dog right now. Because if Apple appears weak and underperforms on AI for the second year running, then things are not going to be looking good in the near future. Apple is a creature of habit, and that means we expect to see the formal rollout of iOS 26 sometime before the awe-dropping event, giving the new software to just about everyone ahead of the iPhone 17's presentation. The launch is certainly approaching, since the iOS 26 Beta 8 update was more or less identical to Beta 7. That means Apple is preparing to unleash the new update, bringing iOS 26 features like the Liquid Glass Makeover, enhanced AI functions, the brand new version of CarPlay and other changes out of beta and into the hands of the public. New iPhones and other Apple items are great, but it does mean some older things ends up discarded. The iPhone 17 event is likely to be no exception. The greatest loss comes with the older iPhones, with the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max receiving the boot in favor of their iPhone 17 counterparts. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus should continue around, with a minor price cut, which implies the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus will disappear from the App Store. Depending on what Apple unveils at the awe-dropping event, we may also see the Apple Watch Series 10, Watch Ultra 2, Watch SE 2, and AirPods Pro 2, in favor of their respective successors. Apple has long battled with the idea of a fourth iPhone, whether it was a small or a plus-sized model. And my colleague Richard Priday is wondering about whether the iPhone 17 Air could go down that same route. The Air should provide something different, as it's not just a smaller version of the standard iPhone 17. But he does worry whether 4 iPhones is just too many, and if Apple should follow the pattern given down by rival phone firms, because the 3 flagship rollout seems to work out all right for them. And if reports are to be believed, Samsung may revert back to that by ditching the S26 Plus in favor of the S26 Edge. It's something we worry about every year, and it could be occurring with iPhone 17. Costs could be going up. Rumor is that we could see a price hike of roughly $50 per iPhone 17, which would put the entry-level model pricing up to $849. Following that trend, the iPhone 17 Air might be $949, with the 17 Pro starting at $1,049. Meanwhile, the iPhone 17 Pro Max would be $1,249. While costly, this would still be cheaper than the $1,299 Galaxy S25 Ultra. A new iPhone means we may see Apple unleash a slew of new accessories out into the public, the first of which are the new tech woven cases, which are supposed to solve all the shortcomings of the infamous fine woven cases from 2 years ago, offering a sustainable, premium feel without losing durability in the process. We may also see a new bumper case, like the one from the iPhone 4, to account for the fact the iPhone Air is so much thinner than its rivals, alongside a new liquid silicone casing and a magnetic crossbody strap that seems to mix a wrist strap with a lanyard design, thanks to built-in magnets. We have a whole new series of iPhones arriving next week, and that means some of the previous models have to be shipped to a farm upstate. In this case, it's the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus that have been sent out to pasture and have been added to Apple's vintage list. This is common protocol for phones once they pass their 5th birthday, and it's more of a warning indication that a phone is on the cusp of being labeled obsolete. That officially happens in year 7. There are no immediate ramifications, but it does mean that iPhone 8 customers may have problems getting any form of help from Apple moving forwards, including repairs. Considering both phones ceased getting iOS updates a few years back, this may be an indication that you need to upgrade. Maybe the iPhone 17 could tempt you. iPhone customers in the US are no stranger to being required to utilize an eSIM. It's been the policy since iPhone 14. But now overseas users may also get to experience it for themselves. According to one report, iPhone 17 could be an eSIM-only handset in other places too. No doubt because the ultra-thin design means there isn't as much space for an actual SIM card slot. Then again, Apple could just be launching a renewed eSIM push, and it'll all depend on if the full iPhone 17 series is scheduled to be eSIM only over the world. Audio may likely be getting some attention during the big event too. The major news is that AirPods Pro 3 could finally make an appearance during the Apple event, while we have been hearing speculation that another HomePod may also share the spotlight. Specifically, this may be the HomePod with display, which would see Apple enter the smart display game. It'll effectively be a command center for your smart home, and might also include FaceTime and the ability to rotate the screen based on your position in the room. But the display is apparently extremely reliant on Siri, and with Apple's new Siri still not slated to come until early next year, this disclosure seems a little less feasible, though not impossible. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.